same as yesterday, I will do the homage and few prayers to the Buddha, Dharma Sangha, and His Holiness Dalai Lama, and then my other teachers. Dumpa Jumdende, Dejen, Shabandra, Jumba Yang, Dama Zobe, Sanje Rinpo, Shabanda, Bandava, Shabo, Jiden, Japachu, Color, Yuba, Lana, Pala, Menami. Dumpa, Sanje Jumdende, Bejava, Saja, Uba, Lajan, Zama, Juno, Jabra, Kande, Mani, Zumo, Yonam, Sajan, Delon, What, Bone, Mane, Jigni, Cho, Jason. Teze Java Jalo Charge, Lord Namdaro, Majudo Susawa, Ye, Jazo, Sija, Wadon, Java Jiden Sunatanya, Gochuni, Jala Chan, Zalo Senjo, Japan, Reje, Sando, Java Chan, Zelo. Juju, Jaws was Maji, Yamakin, Jala Charge, Long, Bodo, Jennifer, Tumji, Bedamo, Sunami, Jalo, Shell, Charge, David Java. Give a song, the Judon, Chujo, Shinjuju, Lachazolo, Lama Yang, the Lavata Larovin, Shinye, Lamboy, the Charles, the Devotin, and Magician. Give up was no so much over Zim, Yonzo, the Dennis, and Yamboy, Commander River, Medan, you must super show down, Melambo, the Shuttle, did not down to them, the Jesuit, but the naked, and Gadan, Nadan, Chivi, Lok, the Civil, so the Tony just want to do it. Chichis and the Majetan Jungle, Chana, the Matin Jabo, who want the Russian from some sort of Tavi, Gasan, Tower, the Zivu, Takis away, since a Shinian of the Charge. Logic, the Major Engineer, but the Sanjay and Media who went to the non-Dutch, Yedamoguru, Lagune, and Charles, what on Shawan and Jeffrey, greetings over. Gave what Jung said that it is about Tom James over Changu, Chambu. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for your kind, what do we call it, guiding the meditation. It is a very good experience. So from tomorrow, I will try to do that. That's very good. So normally I do meditation. I do, but not like this. But this is kind of a basic, which is very, very important. But then I just do what we call a little bit lazy, right? I do meditation just, I don't close my eyes actually. And then what he just mentioned, there could be two possibilities, like during the meditation, you close your eyes or not. It's your own choice. But in the many scholars, they mentioned better not to close your eyes. The reason is something like experience, your experience. When do you close your eyes? Once you want to go to sleep, you close your eyes, right? And then once you are afraid, then you close your eyes. As a meditation, you want to overcome something, right? You want to face it. And then, so when I think it will be a very good example. Sometimes when we talk each other, And then, did you notice some of your friends when you are so interested in talking and telling, that other person is just looking at you, but then he's already spaced out. So, looks like he's looking at you, but his mind is already somewhere else. So same thing here during the meditation. So you are so focused, even what you're looking at, looks like what you are looking at it, but your, what do we call it, consciousness is not present.
So the eyes and the consciousness are not together in the same place.
Yeah, you got it? No? So eyes and your consciousness is not at the same, working at the same place, same time. It looks like you're looking at it. But then you cannot complain to your friend that he's not, that you say, hello, hello, are you with me or not, right? Same thing here. So, the distraction actually, when you look at where your eye goes, looks like normally your consciousness goes with it. But at the meditation, you try to concentrate. So then you don't care where your eye is looking at. Then sometimes what I do is I look at it, and then I try to stop it very quickly, because this really helps me. There's some distraction when you just do meditation, then you space out. And then I open my eyes sometimes and look at it. And then ultimately I force myself to go back to the point that you are meditating on. So sometimes it helps me. So sometimes I just do that. And then, most important, during the meditation, you should be focused on one object. So that object can be anything. But if it depends why you are meditating, right? For what kind of purpose? For Buddhists, they do meditate on the statue of Buddha. And because in order to it is something like we become fan of Buddha. So that's easy for us. So now if you're a fan of gods, then you should focus on God. Then some, like in the Hindu tradition, or they do meditate, they say it is easier to meditate on their own wife or husband, because they're very strongly attached. So it becomes, for their meditation, it helps them. So one of the great master, okay, let me finish this sentence first. So while first there should be one image or a statue or something, any picture, and then you look at it. So you cannot just look at it forever. Then it is not a meditation. But the meditation is something that image like this one. His one is the. So I want to focus on His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and especially this picture. Then first I look at it, and then see how his expression are. Then now you keep this book away. Now inside your brain or consciousness there is an image. This is the real image that you want to focus on, not the book, the cover of the book. So then during the meditation, you want to, it's like you do like Photoshop in the computer, you know, brightness, up, down, contrast, down, up. So you do that. We always does that, right? So you make your picture be more beautiful before you posting it. So same thing here. So you make the image more clear. So then sometimes during the meditation, sometimes too much focusing on gives you what do we call bored. So this is also an obstacle. So then you have to be relaxed for a moment, that he explained, right? Then slowly come back, and then you have to think of some good qualities of His Holiness Dalai Lama. Right now I'm talking about meditating on image of His Holiness, right? So then we think about qualities of His Holiness. Then that you don't force your mind, because forcing doesn't work a lot these days. So you have to see some benefits coming back to the meditation. So then you see it, then ultimately your mind will come back and meditate it again. And then we talk about always awareness. So whether your mind is with you or it's going away or with us, so you check it out. And then you just put it out, and we call it Xixing Hasina.
Introspection.
What's that?
Introspection.
Introspection. Like inspector? Yeah, something like this. So, I don't know, I'm sweating a lot today. Huh? What's that? Yeah, it's okay. Maybe it's your fault. I did a great meditation. Okay. So, back to whatever I started yesterday. Oh, then, am I seeing some new faces here today?
Most of us.
Ah, okay. Great. Oh yeah. So, good to see you all. And so, people from yesterday class, I remember I asked you to do a little bit of meditation on something, and especially analytical meditation, analyzing it. Does anybody have a question or something that I need to clear it. Looks like everybody is fully enlightened. Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
When you do analytical meditation,
Yes.
there is specific steps, or you just analyze it in general? There is specific point you need to focus on what to analyze, or you just in general?
Oh, there should be something to focus on actually. So if we are talking about compassion, like yesterday I tried to bring a conversation on compassion. So then, why compassion is important? And then there are so many debates. Does compassion bring more suffering to yourself or not? So all these are coming into one point actually, right? So something like that. Rinpoche. Like a level?
Yes, different stages.
Different stages.
Go from one step to
Oh, okay. There it is. There it is. Like now, when we talk about meditating on emptiness, so then the stage is first part of seeing. So when we talk about seeing the emptiness directly, part of seeing, right? So then slowly, then the level is the part of meditation. Yeah? Part of meditation. So the person who has already seen the emptiness directly, so then he used these kind of methods to deal with his destructive emotions. So then we have so many levels, because our destructive emotion has so many levels. So due to that, there are so many levels on the meditation of seeing the emptiness directly. You got it? And this can be very difficult because we have never experienced all these things. But same thing here during the meditation, maybe when we meditate on attachment. So then you feel too much attached. Then you have to let it go. So then you have to build up so many reasons. Oh, this is a little bit more to analytical meditation. And as yesterday I remembered telling, you are here, right? So I told you the negative points of the attachment, 3 negative qualities. Negative qualities, what do you call it? Aspects? Yeah, aspects. So maybe the people here knew, maybe wondering what I'm talking about. Yesterday we talked a little bit about 3 aspects of attachment. So, like, I really don't know in which text it is written, but my teacher showed me or taught me this teaching by his heart, through his heart, and then because I'm facing some difficulty with some attachment during that time. Still I do. And then my teacher was very kind enough to share this knowledge with me. And then he said, when we think about attachment, we should always think about these three aspects. First, it is really hard to achieve or get what you want, really want. There's so many of us. We have to impress your friend, or then you have to what we call it, gather so many things to fulfill what you really want, right? So then, second one is, once you got it, but then there's no satisfaction. You want more and more and more. So let's say then we pass first and second test. Then the most difficult is the final one, which is that you have to let it go. And then you really don't want to let it go. So those are the three aspects that you should, if you really want. What's that? A third one? Let it go. It's simple. That's typical, right? I really don't want to let it go. So then, if you are doing this kind of meditation, maybe I cannot just name the levels, but then this has to go through your own experience. So maybe if you start doing today, then maybe after a month you can see the result. And then third, maybe you will, after 3 months, you will, when you hear about attachments, automatically you will feel it is the one
Activity?
No, we go party or group.
Yeah.
Like a group, when we talk about attachment, then we only just think about to something to attach. But then if you really focus on those three aspects of attachment, then once you hear about any attachment, you are automatically thinking about three aspects without you need to remember it and then recall it. It will come automatically to you. So this is how you use it in your daily life, right? So meditation is very funny because this is kind of secret information actually. One time I went to receive teachings from my teacher, Genja. And then there is one lamrim tree. What we call lamrim tree? Soshin lamrim. The field of refuge of lamrim. There's so many tiny image of the gurus and dakinis and protectors and then deities. It's really something really confusing, mostly very confusing. So then I asked my teacher, so how to meditate that and so many informations, and then Khenla was very kind to me to explain everything for 2 days. Then one day I was going to Canada, and then before that Khenla called me and then said, "Are you still meditating on those merit field?" Right? That's it. Merit field. It's really difficult. I but sometimes I try to. And Genla is very humble. And so ultimately some conversation was just coming, and then they said, if we do something and try to do meditation every day, see, really there is something, it really helps us. So before when he is saying that when I face some problems, normally before we say like ama, like mother, or when you're scared, or you say that, right? Because he or your father is the one closest. So then Genla normally says Lama Khyam. So we say that. Lama is Guru. So then after meditating on merit field, so now Genla is so used to this merit field, so once he has some problem and then he heard something shocking, then he goes, Lama Khyam. So he can see all the merit field, like this. Then once he said it, then this is his style. He just he does this because he said something he was not supposed to say. So Sanam said parents self-shayat. Clarity to be clear. So yeah, the meditation, so once you do everyday meditation, so whatever your focus every day, it becomes more clear towards you. So before going to the meditation, you should know why I am doing meditation actually, right? So most people do meditation because they went through very busy life and so much problem, trouble, and then anxiety, and then you want to escape from that. And then for this purpose, we think meditation is one method. Sure it is, but then once you do meditation with what I didn't get your name. Defeat. What's that? David. Oh, David. With the David, maybe for 30 minutes. So then, once you go back to your job or with your family, wherever there is the problem, where you have to go back, so you shouldn't blame him. Because at the meditation, the purpose here is you just came here to relax. But now, in order to recharge yourself, so you really need to know what you want to recharge, right? Is recharge a good word? I don't know. Is it okay? It's my style, so. So if you recharge, okay, right now, every problem past, in meditation we talk, forget about the past, and try not to bring something of future, just focus on now. But then